In this chapter, we're going to talk about the history of the handshake, and also we'll discuss the formula for the perfect handshake. The handshake that we know has been around for a while. The first documented signs of handshake were found from carvings from 500 BC. The handshake that from then is very similar to their modern handshake, where you grab someone's hand and you shake it. Back then, a handshake, just like now, was a sign of respect and trust. Why? Well, because especially back then, the weapon of choice was a sword or a dagger, and the sword and dagger was held in your lead hand, which meant that usually it was your right hand. So if you need to kill someone, you had to be close enough to where a sword or dagger would be able to make some damage. So if you trusted someone enough to let them get close, striking distance close, you would shake their hand. It wasn't just blind trust, it was actually some wisdom behind it. Because if you were able to hold their lead hand, that meant they weren't able to hold a weapon in that hand. Because again, they're too busy shaking your hand. Same as you're trusting them, they're trusting you. And it wasn't just, again, blind trust. They're verifying. Because if you are shaking their hand and you're shaking their hand, they know that you don't have a weapon and you know they don't have a weapon. So again, sign of trust. You got close enough to where you could strike them with a knife, but you didn't because you were shaking their hand. You shake their hand like that. At some point, someone got wise and sneaky, and they decided to hide a dagger in their forearm. So what would they do? They went and shook someone's hand, and when the other person was smiling and happy and trusting them, they would pull a dagger from their forearm and stab them. So they would hide in this section right here. And of course, I didn't know they had a dagger because they could have long sleeves and cover the arm, and they could pull out their weapon. So what happened? They adapted to that. So they created a handshake similar to what you've probably seen in movies like Gladiator, where they actually, instead of shaking hands, they shake from the forearm. And again, this is just to show trust, but you're also verifying. Because if I am able to hold their forearm, that means they're not hiding a weapon there. Or if they are hiding it, I'm the one in control of that weapon. Same thing with them. They're holding my arm, and they know I don't have a weapon in my forearm. And if I do, they're the one controlling it. So again, a sign of respect and trust, just like it is now.